30. Clear tonight with a low of 39. A high of 72 tomorrow. Windy again. South winds once again, gusting 25 to 30. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 92.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Friday. Another week.
Ooh, great way
coming
of saying
and going.
Friday. I like
Friday.
that. I think I might start adding that to my repertoire.
You should. Put it in the bag.
Love it.
Heck yeah.
Austin, tell me about it, man. It's a beautiful day outside today. Can it get any better? I think it's a stogie and wine day since it was Thursday yesterday.
I think that's a great thing. Maybe Mary Ellen's night, potentially.
Not for Stricky, and you know why?
Because Stricky's watching me putting in his body.
I can still have a glass of wine, though. But I'm sore. Listen, bro, I'm so sore. It's like people ask me all the time, Austin, do you miss it? Do you miss playing in the league? Two things about that. One, no, because I don't like the way the league looks to me now. Two, I think the referees are horrid. Three, I hate the training. Like a lot of people only see when the lights turn on. You don't see that work that's being partaken of in the off season. And the drudgery of that, the getting up and the multiple hours, yes, and you love it, but boy, I tell you, I knew when my time was up. I was just like, I couldn't do it. My body just did not want to respond.
The fire to get up, get the work in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was always a gym rat. In any sport, you've now heard Cluster, my best friend, Cluster Johnson, two-time national champion, who is a regular on the block.
We should get him next week. It's been a minute.
Yeah, we'll get him. Remember he told you he was just like, anything Stricky did and put his mind to, he was, I wrestled and was undefeated. Woo. And I had never wrestled in my life. You know what I mean?
I did not know Strick was a wrestler.
But I had technique. it wasn't a brute strength thing. It was, I could leg lock, ankle lock. I can do all kinds of things. Half Nelson, full Nelsons, arm bars, all kinds of stuff I had, in my repertoire. It wasn't just brute strength, but that's how I felt. I was a gym rat in anything that I did. But good gosh, I was done and I'm tired now. These workouts, but I'm dedicated though. I'm dedicated though. I feel like I got 7 weeks. Because you got to start a habit. Once you start the habit, once the eating starts to take in, your body starts to get acclimated, you start feeling better. That's what I'm going for. I'm trying to get summer sexy.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find a good wife like you.
Ring me. It's already there.
Yes, sir, man.
Would recommend. Wives are great.
Wives are beautiful. Families are beautiful. Kids are wonderful. I'm going to see mine next week.
Ooh, nice.
Going down to Kansas City. She plays. So in the West Coast, in Arizona, they have the actual Arizona volleyball team that plays against UCLA, USC, all of that. Then they have a second tier that's above like intramurals.
Okay.
Where they actually travel. Yeah. It's like a club. They actually travel. They have to try out. They have to make the team. They pay dues and they travel and play across the country, and they'll be coming to KC. So shout out to Olivia Cavasso Strickland. Yeah, she'll be going out there and looking forward to going down to KC, spend a little bit of time with her.
Guess he's gonna bring Nate Brennan along.
I'll get to see Nate Brennan.
There we go.
I think I'll maybe have a shape up cocktail with him, but he's traveling like crazy right now himself. You find him up in Chicago, next thing you know, he's down in the NCAA finals. Next thing you know, wherever that cat is, man, he's always on the go now. He's worse than me.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I thought it couldn't get any worse, Austin.
Well, We'll just have to see. Plenty to get to here on the show today. 402-464-5685 if you have any thoughts. Bill and Bennett says, sorry, Strick, but I won't be listening today. Huskers are taking on Michigan in baseball.
Not mad about it. But
Bill, you've got multiple devices, right? You can watch the TV and have your radio on.
Not mad about it. What is wet? I love Wet Blanket. What is Wet Blanket talking about?
So he's saying that he believes you when you say you're a gym rat, but he also says, don't forget that you're just built different naturally.
Wow.
You have built-in physical advantages others didn't. So when you pair that on top of being a gym rat, you play 9 years in the NBA.
And so to speak to what Wet Blanket is talking about, I think you're right. And I think that's something as to why we see some kids get passed. I also think that's the reason to why we have such parity that we have, because to me, talent is potential. It's just potential greatness that is lying in wait. Talent used at certain stages of your career in life, you exceed that of whom you're around, and your pool is so grand. It's like the ocean at the younger ages, right? You're only really gonna run across a few, super dogs and alphas at the youth stage, unless you travel.
Right.
Then as you move up in ranks, those pools start to shrink.
Bigger fish, smaller pond.
Facts. So now you get into a pool, or you get into those boxing matches where they train. If you watch Creed, they put, now not the third one, the second one, but in order to train for Big Drago Jr., they put his feet in a tire, and you had to square up, defend yourself. That's kind of how it is as you reach the top tiers and the top level. And those that exude that, it's because of, sometimes it's because of coaches. I think every player in the NBA, Austin, can be super great. I think work also is applied, but I think it's those that believe in you that can also make it that way. An opportunity is going to be presented. Your talent takes you there, but it's the work that takes you over and above, I think.
It's a combination of everything, because it has to be. It can't just be talent. It can't just be work. It can't just be coaches. It can't just be opportunities, because some people will have one of those. Some will get 2. Some will get 3. When you have all 4, that's when you make it to the next level. Wet Blanket continues, says, talent sets the ceiling, work sets the floor.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Well said. Well said, Wet Blanket. Thanks for that insight. We love it from you guys. Bill and Bennett, enjoy the game today. Hopefully the Huskers will be able to continue its winning ways and continue to solidify its pitching, its bullpen action, and its hitting and timely hitting, not leaving people on base. That is something that they don't want to do as we continue to get into the depth of the Big Ten.
Husker baseball at Michigan. Also at Michigan, Caleb Love commits to Michigan today. Your thoughts on that, Stricky?
I will just say it's not a don't doubt or didn't doubt that would be a possibility. Here's why. I could see it being Memphis.
Okay.
And I could see it being like there. I could see it being Vanderbilt. I could see it being with an alpha type of guy that can really help him to understand his flaws, the issues that he has, the things he would need to work on.
And not just alpha guy, but NBA guys.
An NBA guy. That there would be some levels and high levels of respect and not tolerating of foolishness.
Which is funny, because he also played for an NBA guy at Carolina, Hubert Davis.
Yeah, and that's Hubert is very mild-mannered, emotional, but very mild-mannered. I can see there's a difference as far as I'm sure of the way that they handle certain things. It just seems like at some point the reins came off and Hubert needed him because probably looking down that bench,
didn't have anyone else that could go create a shot
that could go do it like that. So he was kind of in a rock and a hard place. And that's the thing sometimes in college, you know, as you are the guy, you know, the reins I think have gotten tighter for coaches. They're the timetables of which you feel that you have time to kind of just let things play itself out. It's not the same as it used to be.
Not with the schedule, because a lot of these teams are going to, multi-team events early on. I mean, you go to Maui, you go to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
You're playing 3 good teams in 3 days, and that's early in the season. So if you're not at your best, that sets who you are in the national perception in some cases. And for players with the transfer portal, you don't have time to just let it ride, to say, hey, trust the process. Hey, learn the offense. Hey, get in the film room, learn what's a good shot, what's not a good shot. Because so many kids now is, I'm not playing, I'm gone. Caleb Love played as a freshman, played as a sophomore, played as a junior. That wasn't the issue, but never seemed like he took time to learn what a good shot was.
Yeah. And again, like I say, that's just part of sometimes when you have great success, like I said about my team, when you go deep into tournament situations, the spotlight begins to shine on you on the stage. And I would say it's no different, Austin, than like an actor, right?
Okay.
An actor that's been used to having lead roles all of a sudden gets called to be a secondary type of guy. Right? It's I would say it's easier for a guy in a secondary role to steal up and shine bright than a top tier, acting guy to find himself kind of moving back and down the ladder a little bit, right?
Russell Westbrook style.
Yes. Mellow.
Sure.
Allen Iverson. Well said. Those types of individuals to take those backseat type of roles, it's really hard because it's an ego thing. It's because we're stuck in Instagram, and it's because people start talking and everybody was gassing you up. Everybody was pumping your head. You went to the finals. You were that guy. You need to go and take, and you end up, then you have a short kind of a sparse scandal that, we don't know which way it went, but it was supposedly, a girlfriend type of situation between the guards. And, everybody's looking for an excuse as to why North Carolina is not where they're supposed to be. So I can see him going there, and that's why.
I think Juwan Howard could be good for him if Juwan doesn't want to, lock him in a closet by the time we get to December. Because Hubert, like you said, mild-mannered, weren't ever really repercussions for that.
Yeah.
We know Juwan's not going to hold back. We know Juwan's not afraid to bench guys. So to me, this is a fantastic opportunity for Juwan Howard to, I think, still upgrade talent-wise at the point guard position. And for Caleb Love to prove that, he is coachable. He can listen. It just was time to move on from Carolina.
One of the things that, his son, did well. I think he has 2, right? He has 2 sons?
Yes.
Both. One of it, I just know one of them. One of them really did well.
Jet.
Yeah, and you lose Dickinson. At this point, there was you were very mediocre in your play. You don't have a center to whom you can kind of use to go to. You need somebody that can go get it. This is a boom or bust situation for them, right? You're basically saying maybe it's just a change, because sometimes that is the case. Sometimes it's just literally a change of scenery that can help another person to just kind of refocus and adjust.
Same message from a different voice.
Exactly. Like we've all experienced that, our dads maybe coached us and our dads are saying one thing, but then, the neighbor down the street says it did something, but he's saying the same thing, but it's like, oh yeah. Well, your dad's like, well, what did you do different? Well, I just told you that about a month ago. You know what I'm saying? So that happens all the time. And we're just hoping that, I wish the young men well. But here's the danger. And we didn't do it, but I believe Bach and we did a segment where we talked about the numbers, and I'd have to go back and track those numbers, but the percentages of those that get into the transfer portal and expect to find greener pastures, and the numbers are very low. It's under 50%.
I remember seeing something along those lines for college football, where I think 45% of transfers ended up staying at the high major levels. These are high major transfers. So your Power Fives.
Yeah.
45% of them ended up staying at the Power Five level, which is fine, about 50-50. But that's 55% that either had to drop down to the group of five, drop down to FCS D2, or just didn't have a spot at all.
Yeah.
That was it for them. And even among the 45% of Power 5 transfers, what if you go from Alabama to Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
You're still Power 5, but those are two completely different situations.
Exactly. And it's and I venture to say it's no different in the other sport. And here's why. Because the numbers don't change. The same thing in the NBA is similar in college, except the numbers are smaller.
You got 40 or 50 players.
There's always a new group coming in that are coming for your job. Always. On top of that, in college, you not only have a new recruiting class coming, certain amount of scholarships, sometimes 2, 3, maybe 4 at the most. You have transfers that had great seasons at mid-major level, low levels, JUCO levels, are all coming into the pool. And the coach may not be feeling you. So you go to another situation, but you don't got tape. You don't got a lot of, so everybody that's got good tape has a good chance. If you don't got good tape, you might find yourself falling off. And that's what the scary part of it. And this is what I have, true heartfelt feelings for young men and young women that think that they're going to jump in there and have better pastures to waiting on the other side.
It's just not always the case. And we've seen that. And I think these student athletes can say that they know that it's a risk, but I think in a lot of times there's some of that athletic arrogance where, oh yeah, I'm good enough. They'll find a spot. Pull up my AAU tape. Coach will give me good recommendation even if we didn't vibe. Not always the case. It just doesn't always work out. Let's keep the transfer portal conversation going. Bring it a little closer to home. Nebraska makes the Final Four for one transfer target. A Georgia transfer, will tell you about him. And also, are Nebraska fans back to being okay with building through the transfer portal after the way this season went? We'll do all of that and more next segment here on The Block.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Roof Credit.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money. Buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing cut of limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Lines grand opening in Bennett.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, April 14th.
I am back.
You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Welcome back, Husker fans. Eustace Body Shop is happy to welcome the best fans in college football back to Lincoln. With gold-class certified service, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop can call the right plays to keep you in the game. Whether it's in Lincoln at 88th and Highway 2 or at any of our other 5 locations across Nebraska, Eustace Body Shop can help get you back on the road. Go Big Red.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're talking college basketball, we're talking transfer portal, but we're bringing it back home now. Here at segment 2 on the Block on your Friday. We're here with you 2 to 4 every weekday, only over air from 2 to 3. The Royals will take over there. They're taking on the Giants. We will still be on the stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Make sure you are subbed over to all of those. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, Strick, we have another name, another target for Nebraska men's basketball in the transfer portal. One that, at least to me, caught me a bit by surprise. So a young man by the name of Kario Oquendo, not exactly sure how you say it, played at Georgia. About a week and a half ago, people tweeted out that the schools he was hearing most from were Texas A&M, Arkansas, Kansas, Auburn, Oregon, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and UCF. But just yesterday, he tweets out a Final Four that includes Nebraska. That Final Four is Auburn, Utah, Oregon, and Nebraska. Maybe Nebraska moved in late on this guy and he liked what he heard, and that's why he's in the top 4. That just seems weird that, a week and a half ago, Nebraska wasn't on that list of teams most interested in him, and now they're in his Final Four.
Yeah, that's interesting. Depends on what kind of conversation we have. I mean, Nebraska right now is very guard-laden. Is this a situation of guard depth or what they're looking for? Is he comboing? Or are they still some uncertainties with Keisei Tamanaga? The young man, when Tom Crean was there, he averaged about 15 points a game. He was a preseason All-SEC player, averaged 18 points per game against conference opponents, was pretty solid. His numbers decrease as Mike White came in, went down to 12, 13 points a game. So he wasn't happy. Jumps out in there. And there's not too much about him. I think the thing that's probably scariest, I mean, is the scariest. Let me just say the scariest thing about him is his shooting accuracy, right? So he's a high volume shooter, but not shooting a high volume clip. And I say that both from two in this year, he shot just under 40% at 39. He shot 27% from three. You you're an open freestyle type of team. If you don't want people doing Westbrooking you, you don't want people South Carolina-ing you like Iowa. If you don't want to shrink that court, that's risky. Now he's got 2 years comparable of the same. Now here's the reason why that scares me. His first year, there's no tape, only AAU tape on you. Mm-hmm. So you can get to the basket a little bit more. You maybe get to your mid-range a little bit more. Teams don't really know how to, guard you fully, but they figure you out. You're shooting 27%. Your free throw numbers are pretty much the same. Your steal numbers are higher. Your turnovers are higher. You get better in a few other ways, but the fact remains is now your 2-point numbers go down. And then your 3-point numbers shrink. So to me, that shows me that you didn't expand, but the scouting report's catching up to you. Mm-hmm. So do you take a risk on that? I don't know.
It makes me wonder if, like you said, there is an inclination from the coaching staff that Keisei Tominaga is leaning toward not coming back. So that's why they're going after talking to all these guards in the portal. Or the other thing is he fits a physical profile that Nebraska doesn't have. Right now, he's listed at 6'4", 210. That's a tank. Mm-hmm. That's a big dude at the guard position.
Yeah, that's about what I was.
Right. Seems like long arms, pretty good knack for the ball in terms of looking at his steal numbers and mm-hmm. his even his blocks, meaning about once every 2.5 games, he'll get a block. So if they're looking at him as a defensive-minded perimeter stopper and anything you get on offense, okay, I guess, talk myself into it. But you're right. The shooting numbers are worrying. Shooting 27% from three and mid 70% of the line tells me there's not necessarily a whole lot of reason to be confident in improvement.
How and how are you going to play him if that's what you're wanting? Mm-hmm. You want that defensive prowess. You got Lawrence, good, streaky at best. Don't know who your lead point guard is going to be yet. You're in the market looking for mm-hmm. that now. Keisei Tominaga tries hard, not necessarily that, but you get the shooting side of him and the creative and the scoring side of him. You go to Juwan Gary. He's not a consistent, great coming off an injury, and he's not a consistent, great 3-point shooter. Can hit it, but
teams left him open at points.
I would put him in that low category. I'm not going to say he's under 30, but I could say he's closer to 30 than
36.
Than not, mm-hmm. right? Then how are you going to play those two together? Right? Unless there's some drastic change and these guys begin to just come out and, I don't know what you do on your 2K. I don't know if you just go in there and turn up the volume on the 3-point shooting contest and throw them back in the mix. I don't know what you do, but whatever you do, it's got to happen this summer because mm-hmm. trying to find these matchups or these what's the word I'm looking for?
The combinations.
These combinations, these lineup combinations, because CJ Wilcher's scouting report caught up with him. He's down in the low 30s. Better shooter than that, but nonetheless, you've got a hodgepodge of these guys mm-hmm. sitting in this realm. Mm-hmm. Got to get bigger. If you want to add depth there, cool. You still got to find a lead guard. And the numbers are just kind of giving me a little pause.
And the name aside, the numbers aside, Strake, this is the next conversation I want to have. Is the Nebraska fan base okay with building through the transfer portal again? Think about the first couple of years of Fred Hoiberg. Not good records. Heck, even 2 seasons ago, not a good record. They at least, showed some fight at the end, won 3 straight games going into the Big Ten tournament, and should have beat Northwestern to get to the second round of the Big Ten tournament. But the big knock was, oh, well, Fred Hoiberg can't keep building to the transfer portal. It's, turnover year after year. You got to, go get high school guys and really install a culture. And I think all of that is still fine and good, but the transfer portal is not going away in college basketball.
No.
And you're not going to be able to consistently, recruit the high caliber high school player. You've gotten some good dudes in the door. Ramel Lloyd, I think, was a little underrated. Eli Rice from IMG coming in, probably going to be a good player, but you have to utilize the transfer portal. And I think that what Sam Griesel, what Derek Walker did, again, transfer from Tennessee, and then what Gary and Bandamel did, I heard a lot less from the fans about, oh, back off the transfer portal, can't do that again, because of how fun last year's team was.
Just look at where Shireman was for Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go in there and build your whole team like Kansas State did. He had to do that. Just shout out to their recruiting crew, because they went out and found character guys, gym guys, hard nosed, whatever you want to say about that Kansas State team, they found them. Disappointing that we missed one that should have been on campus. That young man should have been on this campus.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him, because he wouldn't be in the Final Four. Well, I don't know. Maybe he would have helped.
Maybe.
I'm not going to go that far. But I will say that that young man and that crew, you found a lead guard who was an absolute leader,
mm-hmm.
who helped to basically take you there, and he did that. So he did it with, I think, one person coming back. It might have been one. Dang near everybody on that Kansas State team was transfer portal.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It can happen. It just has to be, you have to get them to buy in. They have to be character guys. So you can't just look at just analytics. You can't just look at numbers. You got to actually look at home, family,
mm-hmm.
school life. How was he in school? Was he disciplined? I mean, you got to
What's
go.
His personality? Does he mesh with the guys here?
Facts. You got to go into all. It's got to go deeper than just, oh yeah, okay, he's got great numbers, because sometimes great numbers. Yeah, Teddy Buckets had great numbers too,
mm-hmm.
but there's other things that cause cancerous behaviors within it. Alonzo Verge was phenomenal in defensive, great hands, can score, can get anywhere, but didn't understand how to lead.
Mm-hmm.
Which caused problems in how the team was able to have success. And then they didn't figure it out until late. So that's what I'm saying about that.
It's fun right now, as the transfer portal is in full swing, to sit back here and kind of, 2K a team together. I like how this piece fits. I like how this piece fits. This would be a cool basketball addition, and that's the team.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that in real life. You do have to figure out how the personalities mesh together, because we've seen time and time again, it's not always the most talented team that wins. It can be the most connected team. It can be, the
St.
closest
Peter's
team. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, Nebraska does have to get more talented. And I think that's why you dip in the transfer portal for that help immediately. But you can't just look at the transfer portal for talent alone.
Facts. Can't just be that. Because otherwise you're just looking at throwing a hodgepodge AAU team together and hoping that they...
Well, and we've seen how that's gone here.
We've seen how that's gone. We've seen how that's gone for other programs. Sometimes
mm-hmm.
it doesn't work. It's a hit or miss. You right now, I think Nebraska's hoping that they hit on a lead guard and a strong center to power forward. You lose Kolinets, you
mm-hmm.
lose Walker.
Denham's gone.
You don't know what you got in what Blaze is going to end up being for you. He's got some time still, but then also you still don't know about Breidenbach. There's some uncertainties at those positions, man, that they've got to try to find something that is a plug and play, like literally a plug and play.
Well, and that's, I think, what we're saying here too, is that if it doesn't work next season and Nebraska goes and gets these transfers, it's not necessarily the transfer portal's fault. It wasn't necessarily the wrong way to build the team.
No,
it just didn't work out. Maybe the first few years with how the other assistants recruited, that felt like a grab bag of, oh, what are the star rankings? Who can we get? Who do we have connections with? But now I think Fred Hoiberg and his staff are much more intentional about who they're targeting.
Yeah. I think they have a board. I think they have a style. I think they've established their identity that in I would say, decades past, I can't. Well, I think Tim Miles pretty much had a way in which he could play, but not in the quick future, they had a lot of teams that you had no clue what their identity was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Just out there playing.
Just playing.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't see it in the recruits. You didn't see it in the style. They were playing. That's like when Palmer was here and those guys, sometimes it was just get it and go get a bucket. Now I think they understand their defense, their fundamental as far as taking care of the ball, making sure they take the right types of shots.
Mm-hmm.
And they are run to not possibilities, meaning opportunities. When there's an opportunity, go do it. If it's not, hold back. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, it's defense first. It's taking care of the ball and making sure you're taking care of good shots. It's running the offense and being thorough, and then looking at opportunities when they present and not if they don't.
Is it easier to recruit to that style or to what Fred Hoiberg did his first few years?
I think to be honest, I don't think as a whole United States kids are good shooters. I think if you have some European kids in there, and this is no slight, I'm just being honest. The style of most kids, streaky at the basket athletically. Most don't have mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
If they work at it, they get better.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's not like that. If you go and track, just go and look in college basketball, just go and look at some of the European players and look at how their numbers look.
Even the Australian ones.
I'm telling you,
mm-hmm.
It's just because that's the style of European. I've heard European players that have been Americans go over there and they say, if you can't shoot, you will become exposed quickly because the floor shrinks. It's a shorter court. There's not as much space. Spacing is a premium there, and you've got to know how to create it, and you've got to know how to establish it, and it's more physical. And you don't have as much time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't shoot, you'll be of no help. I've seen a lot of ex-NBA guys go over to Europe, and they're not there for more than 10 to 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of that reason.
There you go. Time now to play the shootout with Strick. We'll step aside. 402-464-5685. $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line for you as it is each and every day here on the block. We're going to play the game show after this.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Welcome back, Husker fans. Eustace Body Shop is happy to welcome the best fans in college football back to Lincoln. With Gold Class certified service, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop can call the right plays to keep you in the game. Whether it's in Lincoln at 88th and Highway 2 or at any of our other 5 locations across Nebraska, Eustace Body Shop can help get you back on the road. Go Big Red.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Spring is in the air. Everyone knows this is the best time of the year to buy and sell a home. Johanna Rhodes with RE/MAX Concepts Real Estate is your go-to agent for help with one of life's big decisions. Come see Johanna at the Lincoln Earth Day celebration Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Learn more at lincolnearthday.org.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services. Apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
I'm Brian. At 58, doctors told me I had the heart of a 37-year-old man. They told me that after my heart transplant surgery. If you're a smoker, here are some tips in case that happens to you. First, you have to quit smoking before you can get on a list for a transplant. So quit now and never feel sorry for yourself. I don't. I only feel sorry for that 37-year-old man.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings.
Time to play the game.
Let's do it. Call now, 402-464-5685. Need a contestant to take on Eric Strickland in the Shootout with Strick. The topic today is what we're going to lead off next hour with, Strick. NBA MVPs.
Ooh, I might be in the mix on that.
I know. I
might have a
some,
chance.
I give some
Did I
caller
lose
categories.
yesterday?
You did.
No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I
You
did.
did.
He freaking knew everything from the Masters.
Yep.
Gosh, dang it.
Caleb popped off yesterday.
He did, man. That's not even right, bro.
It happens from time to time.
Let's go play
it's
golf.
Just not your day sometimes.
I bet I beat him in golf, though.
Oh, Caleb, if you're listening to the stream,
I bet I
think that's a challenge.
Yeah. Let's get
I love it. I respect it.
Does anybody want to play today? It's Friday. What'd you say it was?
Friday.
Friday. Yes. It's Friday. And Streaky has... Hold on.
Oh, my. Do I need to shut your camera off, or are we good?
I still have it. Yesterday,
Ooh,
from
Kevin.
Thirsty Thursday.
Kevin.
What is it? What? It's Thirsty Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Calling.
Jim Nance's wine.
Jim Nance's wine, The Calling. I have this, and it's going down on Friday. Trust and believe. Soon as the show is over and I get back to the Chris Nye. The Chris Nye is the house. That's my version of it. And when I get there, I will have a nice drink. And actually, I'm going to go by and pick up another bottle. I told him I'd come by right after.
I was going to say.
I'm going by.
He set one to the side for
To the side for Streaky.
We appreciate Kevin. We like Kevin.
We love Kevin. Kevin does a wonderful job. Again, I'm going out to holler at my guy because I want to have a great weekend because the weather is turning in my favor. Yes. Would you go watch a baseball game today?
Would I go watch one today? Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's that kind of day, just kind of throwing a little light jacket and go out there.
I'm wearing cargo shorts right now, so if it's an evening game, I'd probably have to throw jeans on.
Oh, yeah.
But it's going to be nice all weekend and basically all next week, it looks like. Aaron on the line.
Aaron.
How are you, Aaron?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
Glad to hear it. We are doing well here. Hold on the line for us here, Aaron. We'll give Strick his round first, then we'll get to you for the shootout. Stricky, round one of the shootout, NBA MVPs. Ready to do it?
Let's get it.
3, 2, and 1. He was the first player to win back-to-back NBA MVPs. Bob Pettit or Bill Russell?
Russell.
Yep. He scored the most points per game in an MVP season. Michael Jordan or Kevin Durant?
Jordan.
Yep. He's the youngest player to be named MVP. Derrick Rose or AI?
Derrick Rose.
Yep. He was the first player to win MVP for 2 different teams. Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Yep. And he won back-to-back MVPs playing for different teams.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash went back-to-back, but playing for the same team, won them both in Phoenix.
Son of a mother, son of!
If I tell you the name, can you tell me the 2 teams?
Okay.
Moses Malone.
Philly and Atlanta.
Houston.
Oh! Lord.
Not bad.
Big Moses used to get buckets. I don't care what anybody. Underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, hey, Ron, you got, I had to stick my head out there, man. I couldn't let you just kill me on a Friday and have me drinking all this bottle over here.
Yeah, I'm in big trouble.
All right, you need 4 to tie. You need 5 to win, Aaron. Your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the first player to win NBA MVP multiple times. Bob Cousy or Bob Pettit?
Cousy.
It was Pettit. He was the last player to win 3 consecutive MVPs. Larry Bird or LeBron James?
Bird.
Yep, he's the most recent player to win back-to-back MVPs. Giannis Antetokounmpo or Nikola Jokic?
Antetokounmpo.
Nope, it's Jokic. He averaged the most assists per game in an MVP season. Steve Nash or Magic Johnson?
Johnson.
Yep, and he's the last player to win MVP and a championship in the same season.
3, 2, 1.
LeBron James.
Oh, a good guess. It comes after the buzzer. Unfortunately, incorrect. The answer, Steph Curry in 2014-15.
Chef Curry.
There you go. Aaron, you fall just 2 points.
Valiant effort. And thank you so
calling
much
in.
for calling. I enjoyed that today, man, on a Friday. Now I don't have to drink all the bottle. I can just have a little bit. Thanks, Aaron.
Aaron out.
Peace. Don't sit in too much darkness, though, Aaron. You're all right. Hang up now. Caller number 3 to the Hunt of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Gets the $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Well done, Stricky.
Hey, finish him. I go out, with a little win for the weekend. That's what I'm saying. A little WW,
yes, sir.
Win and wine. You understand me? That's what we're doing on a Friday. Win and wine.
There's only one. The tiebreaker was going to be how many players have won unanimous NBA MVP.
4.
The answer is under.
Really? 2?
1.
Only one?
One player.
MJ?
Not MJ.
The big fella, Wilt Chamberlain.
Not Wilt.
Not Bill Russell.
Not Bill Russell.
Giannis?
Not Giannis. Closer with Giannis, though. Closer.
Jokic?
Not Jokic.
What the what?
Steph.
Chef Curry?
Steph. 2015-16. Only unanimous NBA MVP.
Wow. The haters. Not even Karl Malone was up there?
Not even Karl Malone. There you go.
Barkley?
No.
Dang it.
We got to get you to the Royals. We'll step aside for now. We're on the stream, Royals Baseball on the radio. Talk to you in a sec.
Will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do instead?
Call Joe, Ambition Electric, and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-73415, or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Hi, here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new trucks right now at Koppel. Wait, now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit, and you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour, an opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
John Henry's Plumbing.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Guys, when I first did Barrel Stream Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, visit ticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now Plus promo for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town or traditional at a price that makes the whole fair. The Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy 50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This the block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here. That's a great champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Let's get it. Hour 2, stream only. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Thanks for finding us here on a lovely Friday in the capital city here in the 402. Glad you're along for the ride. Hope you found us from the radio. The Royals are taking on the Giants home opener out there in the Bay. Strick, I just saw a picture from San Francisco. They got a big old battleship in McCovey Cove right now for the Giants game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
going
dope.
all out on opening day.
That's pretty dope, man.
That's legit.
Is the wind blowing in or out?
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't say for
Did
sure.
not see.
Yeah.
A little bit of research to wrap up what we were talking about last segment with the unanimous MVPs. Did a little digging during the break. Here are the people that got closest before Steph to win a unanimous MVP. Larry Bird in 85-86 got 73 of 78 votes.
Yeah.
Larry Legend. MJ in 95-96. So his first year back off of retirement, 109 out of 113. Not bad. Then number 3, this is one that...
Surprise?
A little bit of a surprise. KG, big ticket. 120 of 123.
Wow. That's pretty good. Big ticket worked it out.
Not too shabby. Number 2, Shaq was the closest, 120 out of 121.
Which year?
99-2000.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, listen. I haven't told you this story, but it's a Shaq story. Real quick. You ready?
Lay it on me.
You only get this content on the stream because we can't give it. I might give it to the radio at some point in time. Okay, check it. Here's a story. Shaq story. All right. We're playing the Lakers. That year that we were playing them, we actually tied for the second best record in the second half of the season after the All-Star break with the Lakers with the best record. Okay. We missed the playoffs by 10 games. If we do not sign Dennis Rodman, that what we talked about in the show, and this is only reason why I'm kind of sharing this is because we talk about chemistry and what it can do to a team and how it can affect it. It literally cost us a playoff run because we lost like almost, I think, 10 games out of 12 or 13 with Dennis, right? He just wasn't on the same page as us. Like literally, we changed our whole pregame workout because Dennis would, prior to the game, because he would go and lift. We would be waiting. We go do our shooting. We'd be waiting on scouting reports. We'd be waiting to talk to Don Nelson on the board, and we'd have to wait on Dennis because he freaking is still getting in the shower and doing his routine, right? I was mad about it one time. They freaking left me because I was a few minutes late. Now I was late. I should have got left. But Dennis was a few minutes late too. They freaking waited for him.
Of course
I'm like, you've got to be freaking kidding me.
What's tricky guy to get a
and listen, I'm sitting on the plane too, and I'm yelling. I'm pissed off, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting on the plane. I'm like, how come we ain't leaving yet? What are we waiting for? It's time to go. I'm doing all of it. I'm rowdy on.
You wilding?
I'm wilding on the plane because I'm mad, right? Because I had to pay for a freaking ticket to get there. Okay, so Shaq story. Shaq is literally dominating. Sean Bradley was our center at the time, one of our backups. A couple of them, I think, was Sean Rooks, and one was AC Green. So we weren't very, very big. Also, he played at Michigan. Eric Riley. Okay, so Shaq is literally catching the ball in the post, and he's like, boom. He turns, spins, boom. He dunks like 3-4 times in a row, right? And so I'm sitting on the bench at the time, and I'm pissed. And I did something. This would be a dump moment, but I'm not gonna say what I said to where it gets dumped.
Thank you.
So I said, Coach, Evan put me in on him. I said that not thinking Coach Nelson was gonna do it, but Coach Nelson said, well, get in there and go get him. I went in there. Shaq was my assignment.
You gave Big Diesel
for
some
5 minutes of the game.
Nice.
He never dunked on me. Now, the funny part about it all, Austin, was Shaq would get the ball, like, because see, remember, you could be physical back then.
Yeah.
So I'm 6'2", 220. I'm leveraging him.
Get up underneath him a little
and
bit.
he's like, he looks down at me like David Goliath type joint. Are y'all serious? And so he goes, but I got great feet. So Shaq goes to make his move.
Oh, that chair get pulled?
Charge.
Ooh, smart.
I leveraged him because I knew it was going to make him mad to where he's like, I'm about to put him in the rim. And I just stepped back, stepped over, took a charge, and it happened twice to where he had to go to the bench because I got extra fouls on him.
Nice.
Never dunked on me.
Who is more proud of that, you or Coach Nelson?
Me. And but see, I used to do stuff like that, Austin, because I wanted Coach Nelson to trust me. I wanted him to trust me with anybody, i.e., fourth quarter, and you can go look this up. Fourth quarter, we were getting dominated, and we ended up beating them back to back. And I think I tweeted one time the ending shot. Dirk ends up shooting an air ball. I catch it on the other side, put it in with no seconds, and we ended up beating them.
Sir.
It was a back-to-back.
Yes,
they were the champions,
Yeah.
right? So we had no matchup for the San Antonio Spurs. They had David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Sean Elliott, 6'9",
That's
Mario
a guy I forget,
Ellie,
6'9".
Yeah, Mario Ellie, 6'4", and then the little general, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to figure out how can we change the game to make them work against us. So coach is like, okay, Strick, you cover Tim Duncan. This is why, doing stuff like this over time, he's began to trust me. Mm-hmm. I covered Tim Duncan. It was either Dirk or sometimes AC covered David Robinson. Sid Sabalas covered Sean Elliott. Michael Finley covered Ellie. And they would put Steve to be like the Russell Westbrook move against
Parker.
No, Parker wasn't there yet.
Johnson.
Avery Johnson.
There you go.
So Avery Johnson, we just kind of would play. Let Steve roam because we're just like, we want Avery to shoot. But the other thing was, how you going to guard us?
Right.
Okay.
Robinson and Duncan aren't moving on the perimeter like that.
Right. And remember how Duncan liked to play. Duncan liked to play not necessarily on the block, that off the block. So he would like to get the ball off the block, face up guys that he could, give a couple moves to, be by you at the rim, get them to jab off of them, pull up and bank shot. That was his thing. So I leveraged him enough because I'm like, ooh, put it on the ground, Tim, so I can go get it. Because that's my area at this point, yeah. Right? And I was strong enough to keep him off the block, and all I had to do was block him out. We ended up beating him that game. I played Tim Duncan the fourth quarter of the whole game. We ended up beating them because I come down and I'd be like, which one of y'all am I about to give this to? You're going to put Tim on me? Who's going to be on me? So we would run, and that's how we beat them.
How did other teams not figure that out? Was it just that there was one Eric Strickland?
No, see, so I was ahead of the time as a combo. Mm-hmm. I wasn't the traditional point guard of the day. I wasn't like Stockton and Gary Payton and Malone. The anomalies of the point guard position was the Magic Johnsons, the Penny Hardaways, so forth and so on. Those were the anomalies. It wasn't an anomaly, but I just was a player. So I was one of the initial ones that didn't fit the category of guard, 2 guard, which was usually that 6'5", 6'6" to 6'7". Then you got the 3, which went from 6'7" to 6'10".
Okay.
And then you had the 4s, and the anomalies was like freaking Anthony Mason, who was only 6'5", but freaking Rock Diesel. So those we didn't. So there was anomalies, but then I was just a normal player. And that's what Don Nelson liked. That's what he was trying to create with Chris Webber out in Run TMC. But they wouldn't buy into it. We did, and that's where we started to get success. And that's why I knew we were about to go to the next level. They traded me to New York, but I knew we were going to win 50 games if I stayed, and they did. They ended up winning 50 games the next year. Just didn't get to see the culmination of all the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in. But that's all right. I was just glad Mark Cuban sent me to New York. That team had just come off going to the finals. That was at Sprewell, Canby, Allen Houston, Charlie Ward. That same team. It's just Coach Van Gundy was just he was a coach that it was a 6-man rotation. But what he didn't understand is 82 games is long. You're playing 6 guys. We didn't have load management. We didn't have that, Austin.
Right.
So you're playing 6 guys, 7 guys at most, for 82 games, lots of minutes. You're not going to have playoff legs, man. No. So it cost them. You could do that in a short season. That's why they had success, because it was a shortened season. Can't do that in a full season.
About what point, when you're playing 6 or 7 guys, do your legs just leave you in a regular season?
So to give you a breakdown on that, this was pretty common, especially when you're on the fringes of what we are. You tend to have longer road trips.
Okay.
If you have to go west.
If you're on a coast.
So like in Vancouver, when I was in Vancouver, we literally had a 15-day road trip. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
On the road.
Yeah.
It's because once you hit it, it's tough to come back home. So you would hit it, you would go out east, hit a long circuit, come back west, go up from like LA up,
Portland,
hit a couple of
Sonics,
games,
yeah.
and then go home, right? The worst of that was 5 games and 7 nights.
God.
These cats are talking
At
about
an NBA level.
These cats are talking about not having a back-to-back. We had 2 in a week.
Yeah.
5 and 7. That's why your legs get you wore out, right? That's why the game is back even more back then. It was more mental than it was even physical. And that's why a lot of super athletes, super talented guys just couldn't hack it, because it was really mental. It was really mental. It's who can sustain and stay, the course when your body just wants to say no and shut down. Who can stay consistent in that area?
5 and 7.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Little short, little story time. Friday story time.
Story time with Stricky. Maybe that's a segment we need to bring.
Story time
Weekly
with
segment. Story time with Stricky.
Yeah, we have some of that fun. There's a lot of stories.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. The other player then to miss a unanimous MVP by 1 vote before Steph was LeBron in 2012-13. Kind of apex LeBron.
Yeah. The Cleveland LeBron?
He was in
or
Miami
Miami LeBron. So to me, Sutter Hammond text line 402-464-5685 or on the stream. I really do have a question. Which LeBron do you like better? Cleveland LeBron or Miami LeBron? Or Laker LeBron? Which LeBron, which aspect of LeBron and his game, the totality of his game, do you like the best? I want your thoughts, Austin.
Yeah, so I had to pull up his basketball reference page just to give me something to look over. So I like Cleveland LeBron James better. I mean, that's where he was drafted, hometown kid, just a kid from Akron.
First time or second time?
Either
one. Just the Cleveland LeBron.
I like Cleveland LeBron the best, but I don't think there's really any argument to say that he wasn't at his best in Miami, because he was allowed to defer, right? We've talked about that. When he has Wade, he has Bosh, he can pick his spots a little more. He was more free to play defensive rover. A lot of steals, a lot of blocks in that time. So, no, I didn't love the way he put the super team together and started that era.
Yeah.
But most efficient numbers of his career in Miami when he was surrounded by better players. Most versatile guy. He learned to stretch the floor. I mean,
he had to work on the jumper.
The first finals against the Spurs. I mean,
Yeah.
they let him shoot.
Yeah.
Got in the lab, shot 41% from three in that 2012-13 season. So I don't think there's been a better LeBron than there was in Miami.
I'll say that's what's impressed me about him is that the understanding of what he needed to do. And anybody that puts $1 million into his training regimen is committed.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that this generation benefits heavily on the technologies of the day, the lessons learned. I could only imagine what Larry Bird would have been if he would have had the shoe technology,
way
the
to rehab his
training
back.
technology, the rehab technology, the uninvasiveness of knee surgeries that you can do now. I look at certain players and I think about that. Certain players that couldn't recover from Achilles tears that now, like Kevin Durant's and
KD, Kobe,
how you can recover from that now. Cryo training, running, like they got freaking treadmills and pools. I mean, it's just all kinds of stuff to alleviate a lot of the stresses that we didn't have. Now, like guy like me, I'm blessed that I didn't have any major injuries, Austin. I played on a freaking tartan floor all through high. You know how hard that thing is?
Not forgiving.
It is not forgiving, and it's not good on the knees and the body. I'm even surprised that I can stand up in the middle of the day. Now I do have some, funny days, but
you were working last night. You're feeling it when you got in today. But
well, just trying to stay healthy, man. It doesn't get easier, but man, you guys, which LeBron you like? I would say I liked. I understand what you're saying about the Miami LeBron. I like the success that they had, but it was a very weak Eastern Conference.
So weak.
And I really like the parity of the conferences now. You can't just run over and run through a conference and just go nuts and run up your stack.
Okay, see, that's kind of funny because there for the last 7-8 years, it was the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. I mean, especially when LeBron was back east.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they always got the 1 seed. I remember, they had Toronto every year. Toronto was basically a team. Okay, if they don't stop LeBron, who's going to? And Toronto never stood a chance.
Yeah.
It was Cleveland out east. That's the only team you took seriously.
Yeah.
In the West, it was, okay, Golden State's on a dogfight with the Clippers, with the Rockets, with the Spurs before Zaza landed under Kawhi. But now you have...
And the Mavs even.
The Mavs, yeah.
Yeah.
Now you have Milwaukee looking like they have the 1 in the East. Boston a couple games back. Philly, I still don't take them fully seriously, but they're a really good regular season team. Cleveland's a dark horse.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then in the West, Denver's 2 games clear. Memphis, who's 2 games
Denver,
clear.
I
Sacramento.
think sometimes.
Sacramento.
I think Denver's fraudulent sometimes.
Denver and Philly are the same team.
Yeah.
Different styles, same team.
It's great success, can win, knows how to win. If anything happens to Jokic, they have no way of winning.
Especially if Murray's been hurt.
Yeah, his numbers are through the roof. I mean, he's like when he's on his plus minus numbers are crazy sick when he's on the court.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's off the court, doo-doo brown.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who else?
I was just going to ask
Sacramento. I still like them.
Phoenix clinched the 4
with Kevin Durant, and if Chris Paul can stay healthy and just guide that team with Book, Aiden, they scary. They're scary.
Mm-hmm.
Out west.
They're resting tonight. You have Suns Lakers tonight. Both LeBron and KD are resting.
Okay.
They haven't played since Christmas Day in 2018.
Yeah. That's garbage if you're a fan. That's garbage if you're a fan. Yeah, you like listen, something that I saw. And this is something I saw that just irks me about refs. Ready? Remember we were talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
John Morant is talking to a fan in the stands. He's got on a Morant sweatshirt. She paid premium dollar to be on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
He's there. He's talking to her. A freaking referee gets in his underwear in a bunch, like he's got a wedgie, and freaking tosses him for no reason. And all Ja's basically saying, I'm talking to the lady. I ain't talking to nobody else. I'm talking to the lady. Now, what was dope about it is T. Morant, his dad, goes and FaceTimes Ja and goes over to the ladies that were sitting there and basically lets them talk because the lady felt bad. Like she felt like it was her fault. And basically Ja had to basically just console her and say, you know what? It's not your fault. It's okay. This is just, something that's happened. Enjoy the rest of the game type of deal. That is crazy. That's how crazy this stuff has gotten.
That's out of control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's
are they fraudulent?
Memphis? They're inexperienced.
Ooh.
Still need some seasoning. They really pushed Golden State last year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, Stricky. I've never been the biggest fan of Memphis.
Yeah, it's just something about it.
Like I
can't stand it.
I know they love their grit and grind teams, but they just always kind of annoyed me. Like I respect Zebo, Mike Conley, good player. I could just never get behind Memphis. I couldn't.
Memphis story time another time. Not this time. Another time. Because it was Vancouver before Memphis. So that was kind of some funny stuff.
I suppose. Here's the thing. I want to be behind the Pelicans. They're a team I want to root for.
Why?
Because they're going to be fun.
They
play fast. They're switchable 1 through 5.
I
got my
Brandon.
boy BI.
Yes. I love Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
Underrated.
Sneaky silent assassin.
Sneaky silent. And he ain't no punk. Like you can't expect to punk him. Like he's gonna go at your neck regardless.
He's like a B- version of Kevin Durant.
But does Zion show up? That's the part that kind of, who they got? They still got McCallum over there?
Yeah, CJ's still there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But my thing is, does he show up? I still believe Austin, had he came back when they were in the playoffs making that run, if he could have just been a presence, whether it be in the rebound, the defense, or just even the thought of him attacking, I think they could have won that series last year.
Could have.
I really do.
It's crazy, Strake, if you look at Zion's numbers, obviously a very limited sample size. He hasn't been on the court. He is the closest thing we have to a guy we started the segment with, Shaq. His numbers in the paint are Shaq-esque. He's 6 inches shorter. But he's putting up Shaq numbers in the paint.
You know who he reminds me of? He has Shaq-esque style. Big baby Davis kind of look.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Big Baby and Shaq got together and had baby Shaq.
Oh my. Oh boy.
It was like there was some lab splicing going on for baby Shaq there. That's crazy.
I want Zion to stay healthy.
I do, man. It's good for the NBA. Real talk. If you're listening right now, just send me word as to who, not Steph Curry, not Durant, not LeBron, not any of them, who to you is the next face? Give me 3 faces of the NBA.
I'll give this to you before we go to break. Got to get Nate on the horn. Okay, here are the 3 that I got. Jason Tatum. I think Tatum's in the conversation. Luka absolutely has to be. And then I think right now we're talking a lot about Jokic and Giannis, so I'm going to take them out of the conversation. That 3rd spot, I think, should be Zion, is there for the taking. I just don't know if it's going to be.
They've been trying to get Zion to step into the role.
Do you think Zion magically gets healthy if he gets traded to New York?
James Harden style?
James Harden style?
I think if he ends up on any of those big markets, I think it could be
magically healthy.
I think it would be a detriment to him to go to like a Miami. But
Heat culture might break him.
I'm still going to throw this out there, and I'm not going to stop until it happens. June is slowly approaching. The Wembanyama sweepstakes, they are now former NBA guys. They're like, this is scary. This dude coming is a scary sight. We still haven't seen Chet Holmgren.
No.
We don't know what that's going to be.
Yeah.
He has a very similar type of body that Chet Holmgren has. That's what scares me. The physicality, the travel, the road, the multi games, the new CBA, not as much load management stuff. Does Wembanyama stay healthy? He becomes your unicorn.
Yes.
He becomes your face.
What you wanted Porzingis to be.
He becomes that
Mhm.
if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he does. But secondarily, where does he go? I still think look, somebody with a low percentage in the 4, 5, 8, not the guys with the 40% range and all that. I just don't see it. I think he's gonna go to a crazy market. I don't think he goes to a small market. I think it's gonna be something in the mix. I just call me crazy. I'm not gonna say where or who. Just call me crazy. Something crazy I think is gonna happen. I could be wrong, and I'll admit to it. I'll admit to it. If it doesn't happen, I'll be like, well, I missed that one.
Worth a call. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Let's take a break and talk to Nate. How about that?
Yeah, let's talk to Nate Doggy Dog.
Back in the sect on the block.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up with one of our diners and get ready for Type's grand opening in Bennett.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish, and don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 476-2376-2300.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln Island, SolderHeyman.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, I'm extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's effort. It's the entire dealership and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. And apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Now back to Unlock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. On the block with you here for another half an hour or so. Thanks for dialing in the stream. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We're stream only right now because the Kansas City Royals are taking on the San Francisco Baseball Giants.
That's why you got on. That's why you got on a shirt right now.
That's why I'm repping. Yes,
you're just trying to give them a little mojo because right now they're off to a terrible start.
I've been giving them as much mojo as I possibly can, and it's worked 1 out of 7 times so far this season. But I can't be all to blame because when Nate Brennan wasn't in Kansas City, they won a World Series, made it to a pennant. So, Nate, I'm not saying it's all your fault that the Royals suck, but I am saying you have to at least take some of the blame.
I am.
I don't know if I should be taking all the blame. Well, first and foremost, guys, thank you for having me. Always great to be back on the block here, 93.7 The Ticket. I don't know if I want to take all the blame because, one, the Royals were one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in baseball last season. I don't think they officially finished the worst record in baseball. And two, I don't think I should take the blame because I did teach Vinny Pasquantino everything that he knows. I played with him in middle school.
Well, how's that working out so far this season?
Not great. But, again, I taught him everything he knows, and everyone knows that I am the definition of a great athlete, so he'll be fine.
You may have been the smartest man in the room at times, but you're definitely not the smartest one in KC. The pool is way too big. Nate Brennan, what's going on down in KC? How are things for you? And are you enjoying the transition thus far?
Yeah, man, it's been great. Right now, we're kind of getting anticipated for the NFL draft. I'm doing a story right now on the NFL draft experience, which is coming, which is pretty cool. I mean, basically gives you an inside look of kind of what goes on behind the scenes in the NFL. Let's try on some jerseys, put on some gear. I'll run the 40-yard dash so I can compare myself to Jay Foreman and tell him that I'm still faster than him. But it's good, man. It's been awesome. Been to a couple Royals games, got to cover opening day. Lots of good things happening in KC. You guys got to come visit. It's just right down the road.
Ah, you've enlightened me. My daughter will be playing in a volleyball tournament next week, so I will be making my way down there next weekend. I will be in the gym a lot of the time, but of course, I will be tasting some Stricken and having some sipping of some good red.
All right, sounds like a plan. You have to let me know.
All right, man. Listen, what is your thoughts right now as the NBA season begins to come to a close? Is it shaping up how you envisioned it? Is it shaping up how you thought it? Is there any surprises in there? Any tankings that somebody is doing that's kind of working in their favor at this point? And lastly, are the Dallas Mavericks done?
Oh, my goodness, Strick. That's a loaded question.
So loaded.
Foremost, I want to give myself a little bit of credit because I did tell you guys last time that I was on the block that the Lakers would end up with the 60s. They would avoid the play, and it looks like that's going to come down to the wire right now. The Clippers, Golden State, Lakers, and New Orleans are all with.
We look like
what?
We look like we had he pushed a button. at this point, we'll try to get Nate Dogg back on the line, or hopefully he'll call back in. But at this point, we'll continue on the discussion and the conversation. He was basically saying that he had talked about the Lakers kind of breaking through and breaking in. I will say when we talk about the Lakers, oh, there he is.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Sorry about that. I lost you there for a second. I'm going through Missouri. I will always say Kansas is better than Missouri. But going off what I was saying, the biggest thing is that they're all within a game of each other. I think the Lakers still do end up getting that 6 seed, so that doesn't surprise me. Going to the Mavericks, Strick, I think that's a loaded question, and I want to get your thoughts in Austin as well, because there's been a lot of heat and a lot of pressure on Luka Doncic recently and saying, okay, you're one of the best players in the NBA. Maybe kind of an early LeBron factor that if you're this great generational talent, why aren't you winning more? Well, my counter argument to that would be last year he went to the Western Conference Finals. You get rid of Jalen Brunson, which I think the Mavericks front office is probably regretting right now. But then on top of that, you bring in Kyrie Irving, and when the two of them have played together, it hasn't looked great.
Yeah.
When Kyrie got to the Mavericks, it seems like their season has completely tanked and plummeted. So when it comes to the Mavericks, man, I don't know. And Strick, we had this conversation before I left too. Where does that leave Luka Doncic? Is he a guy that you're going to build a team around? Is he a guy that's going to win an NBA championship? Right now, to be entirely honest with you, I don't know.
He leads in 4 categories, and I'll let Austin speak as well, so I'll be very brisk and short. He leads in 4 categories for them: rebounds, points, assists, and steals. The fact that he leads in rebounds is something that is very disappointing in itself. That shows me that they don't have strong front court presence. It's okay for your rebounder to be there, but you should have a guy that's working on a double-double aspect if you're going to have some success. Second, all of his numbers are quite good, but Kyrie has a tremendously better plus minus than Luka. So I can't fully blame it on Kyrie at this point. I just think that they're just having trouble figuring out who to go, when to go, how to go, and who's going to be the guy when they need to go. That's kind of the way I envision it, and why I think there's so much trouble at this point. And I think I think they overplayed Max Kleber. I think they've overpaid Dwight Powell, and so they're stuck with role guys that don't really help them in the roles that they need to help them in. And if they could have got rid of those, and they could actually use Christian Wood a little bit more, and without having to worry about, you got guys sitting on the bench that you're paying a lot of money, you need to try to play them so that they can make good plays so that you can trade them. But that's not happening for them. So they're kind of in a stuck mode, and it might hurt them with regards to Luka. That's my fault.
What Luka needs is a Paul George or a Jaylen Brown, someone that can play on the ball defense, be a primary defender, but also go get buckets.
Yeah.
You know, where they're big enough in terms of their skill, but they're not as big in terms of the ego. I mean, Jaylen Brown, I know what he said about Boston, but he's been more than willing for the most part to take a backseat to Tatum in there. Paul George, you know, was the alpha in OKC, was the guy in Indiana, but I think him with the Clippers, when he can be that second guy behind a healthy Kawhi, that's perfect for them. So if Luka can focus more on running the offense while still having someone to, you know, take some load off on that end, but someone that covers for him on defense that can change a game defensively, he needs a superstar like that, not someone that amplifies the offensive end in the similar way that he does.
What about
Austin, what's so crazy about that? You know, you basically just described Jalen Brunson, who's having a career year in New York, right? I mean,
sure.
That's the thing. That the craziest part about this is that you could make the argument that last season they had that guy, and it meshed so well. They went to the conference finals, and then you let him walk for $20 million a year.
Yeah,
you got to be kicking yourself if you're Dallas.
Yeah, you didn't want to pay him. But here's the thing: Dallas has a way of doing this regularly. Nate, they did it back when they had Steve Nash, and he goes on to win 2 MVPs.
Right.
They've done it when they had they win the championship, and they don't bring some of those guys Stevenson and Chandler back, and they don't run it. Then you end up losing those types of situations, and you're putting a lot of pressure on Dirk instead of alleviating pressure from Dirk, and then nothing gets done at that point. They have a track record of doing that.
Which has to be frustrating for you, Strick, as someone that was a part of the organization, because it seems like you have the pieces, right? I mean, if you look at Luka Doncic, I'm with everyone on this, and I think he is a generational talent. But to Austin's point, like, you need to have that Robin that isn't a ball-dominant guy like a Kyrie Irving, a guy that can hit shots, a guy that can play defense. And then you bring in a guy who's been shopped around the league, and his track record shows outside of the Cavaliers, every team he's been on has gotten worse. And you're going to tell me that that guy is going to help a 23, 24-year-old Luka Doncic? I'm not buying it. And I think that it's going to ultimately probably be what gets Luka Doncic out of Dallas.
It's kind of crazy, but they're going to ultimately end up having to sign him because there's who you're going to go get at this point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to switch gears then, Nate, bring it home a little closer to Kansas City. An NFL headline, Tyreek Hill says he's going to retire after 2025. That kind of blew my mind to hear him say that. And if I'm the Chiefs, I feel like I won that trade even more. You lose a talent like Tyreek Hill, but if you're only going to give up 3-4 seasons of him to Miami, you make that deal 1,000,000 times out of 10.
Well, it really comes down to, in my opinion, what you're looking for in a franchise, right? I would say that long-term, or even short-term for that matter, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, that you probably win that trade. I think what's so fascinating, and Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, talked about this recently. He talked about how the Rams basically gave up the farm, everything, to get Matt Stafford. Well, you get Matt Stafford in the first year that he's with the team, you win the Super Bowl. At what cost? We look at the Rams this past season. You're a bottom team in the NFL. You don't even have your first-round pick. That's going over to Detroit. So it's back and forth. I think that for the Dolphins, you look at them as an organization, and you look at them as that team that when they had Ryan Tannehill, I think they made the playoffs once. Before that, they were a laughing stock, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Tyreek Hill is the type of player that's going to make an impact immediately and going to make you a playoff contender. The problem is he a big enough piece that's going to help you win a Super Bowl? And I think that's what every team is chasing, and that's why I say on the flip side of that, if you trade for Matt Stafford, even if he's healthy for one season, you won the Super Bowl. That's what you got to be going for. But, hey, the Super Bowl still currently runs through Kansas City. So, yeah, I would have to agree with you. They probably won that trade.
Strick said Tyreek Hill's capping, that he's not going to retire after 2025. Strick, why do you think that? And Nate, do you agree?
I think it's capped because I believe that he's positioning himself for a potential out if it doesn't work out. There's some uncertainties with Tagovailoa from Tua, who the quarterback is going to be, are they going to be able to reproduce what he did? I mean, his numbers jumped significantly, 1,400. His targets are solid. Is he comfortable with Waddle? Is what he's looking at going to be the same in the next 3 to 4 years? And actually 2 years now, as opposed to the extending of his contract, which would give him a potential out or exit to look for the best situation and circumstance to get back to caliber of winning championships.
I think what's so interesting with Tyreek Hill, and I don't really know which side I lean on this, because we've seen this before with superstars. Okay, you create a timeline, you create a date, that maybe you retire for a year, you come back, maybe you decide altogether you're not going to retire, and sometimes those guys do end up retiring. So I don't really know where he stands with that. I just look at these smaller wide receivers, and more often than not, I'd say that they probably do leave a little bit earlier than others. I don't know. I mean, I feel like T.Y. Hilton's the perfect example. I mean, T.Y. Hilton, I believe, is 34 years old. His prime is well done. I wouldn't be surprised to see him retire possibly this offseason. I don't know if he already has. I know that he was working out with the Cowboys. I think he ended up catching a touchdown. I'll throw Antonio Brown out there. I mean, I know that's a disaster.
Well, that was a CTE, probably head issue. Yeah. Look, but look at Randall Cobb.
Some of these smaller wide receivers just aren't hanging around anymore.
Look at Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb's been around forever and a day, right? I think because Tyreek Hill right now is on the outside, and he's kind of Deebo Samuel-ish. He does a lot of different things. He stretches the field. I think if you move him in the slot, he can be extend his years, probably 2 to 3 more years. If you just put him extensively in the slot where he's not every day, all day, but he can still make great money and still make great plays.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably if you would want to have him for the long term. But at the same time, Strick, you and I both know, because we've talked about Deebo Samuel, is that's what he is, right? I know that people complain, he ended up getting hurt right before the season ended. He ended up coming back for the playoffs and all this. That's what makes him great. We look at Tyreek Hill, and yeah, you can move him to the slot, but is that really maximizing his ability? I mean, I don't know if it is. And I look at Mike McDaniel, and he's the orchestrator of this offense, and he chose Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and decided that he wanted to base the entire offense around two smaller guys that can outrun everybody, that can play every position on the field. So it'll be interesting to see if they take that route, simply because what makes Tyreek Hill so good is getting the ball in his hands out in the open field.
Nate, we'll leave you with this. Should our Colts sign Lamar Jackson?
Oh, goodness gracious. I would say yes, just because of recent history. If we were talking about Andrew Luck only retiring a year ago, I'd probably say no and test the waters. Knowing what we know now and knowing how disastrous it's been getting this revolving door of quarterbacks, now it looks like if they don't get Lamar Jackson, you're going to draft a guy like an Anthony Richardson, like a Will Levis, a guy that is NFL ready right now. They've got another 2 or 3 years of this, Austin. I mean, at what point does this madness stop? I think that you do. And what's interesting about that, too, I don't know your thoughts on it. The Colts are right now the second favorite to get Lamar Jackson, number one being the Atlanta Falcons, who have openly said, we are not going after Lamar Jackson. Something to think about.
My thoughts are, I would rather have good players than not have good players. Lamar Jackson's a good player. I'd go get him. It's fun to have good players. That's my thought.
There's adjustments that have to be made, Nate, if you do.
I guess.
Oh, wow. There are some adjustments that would need to be made. There's no doubt about it. Is the offensive coordinator willing to make a shift in the style and the way that they're going to play? Because you can't run traditional styles of offense with Lamar.
Right.
So that'd be another thing to think about, to consider.
Yep, absolutely.
Nate Brennan, we appreciate you. Travel safe wherever it is you're going. Keep cranking out those NFL draft stories, and hopefully by the time we talk next, the Colts have signed Lamar Jackson.
Well, guys, I'm actually coming back to the land of the Cornhuskers, so who knows? Maybe I'll see you guys out in the town tonight. Probably not. We'll see about that. It's Easter weekend, time to hang out with the family. Appreciate you guys. Looking forward to talking to you next week.
Absolutely. There he is, Nate Brennan, old friend of the program. Appreciate him and his time here on the block. Kenny Wilhite in the building. Old School coming up next. We'll cross it over and get you set up for that. Jay will be a minute. Jay's got an appointment. He's got business to attend to. So Kenny and I will take you through the first hour, but Strick's not out of here yet. We got the crossover before we get out of here.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to the attention of the Nebraska Lottery that when people hear a radio commercial in their car for one of our lotto games, Powerball, Mega Millions, or Lucky for Life, they tend to begin daydreaming about how they'll spend the prize money if they win, instead of paying attention to the road. So please, when I tell you that Nebraska Lottery Lotto games offer big money and big fun, keep your mind on driving. Do not start thinking about all the things you could buy if you win. Things like tropical vacations, 100-inch TVs, hot tubs, SUVs, a new computer, motorboats.
Bob, snap out of it.
Oh, good heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. Perhaps I should go home now.
You better let me drive.
Lotto games from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive, Town Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We tag all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
This Easter, focus on your family and set up new Easter to-go meals. Prepared fresh in-house by our chefs, these meals are ready to heat and eat, with packages for 2 to 3 people or 6 to 8, and your choice of juicy beef tenderloin, tasty herb-roasted chicken, or our famous 6-pepper crusted prime rib. All meal packages come with sides, and we have additional add-ons available to complete your feast. Order today at venuedelivered.com/Easter. That's venuedelivered.com/Easter.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rush into your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Now back to On with in Austin on 93 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What is he?
He got to get out of here.
What do you had to do, Strick? Where else do you have to be?
He's got to.
I got to go to Kevin Myers Cork and Bottle, and get me some more of The Calling. 219. Red Wheezy.
Well, lucky for you, it's open till 11.
Hey, your boy. I think your boy's in town this weekend.
Who that?
Wheezy, baby.
Lil Wayne? No.
Young Moolah, baby.
No way.
I think he in town this weekend.
In Omaha?
I think he's in town this weekend.
You going?
No.
Okay, good. Stay out of that.
No, sir.
Exactly.
That is not my is naive.
Exactly. Mine either.
I got free tickets to a Lil Wayne concert once. Was the scariest experience of my life before that.
Oh, I bet it was. It was an eye-opener for you.
Well, not even the concert. Before the concert. Yeah. That was before the concert. Some buddies and I went to Five Guys.
Yes.
Down there in downtown. They were making jokes about people that looked like they were going to the concert. Just being, dumb high schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look out the window once, except for this. If you can see on the stream, I did that. Didn't make eye contact with anyone walking by or anything. My friends are sitting there like, oh, that dude looks mad. He's coming in the restaurant. This dude, who is probably your size, Strick.
Was it in a Waffle House?
Five Guys.
Oh.
Five Guys.
Five Guys in Lincoln. Probably Strick size. Big dude, like rocked up. Big backpack on whatever.
He looked like a silverback?
Yes.
Okay.
Comes in the restaurant, just scowl on his face, looking everywhere. Comes right over to our table. I'm sitting here on the end, and he just towers over me, cusses me out for a good 20 seconds.
For what?
He said, "What are you looking at? What do you think you're looking at? Let me mind my own business. What do you..." Can't repeat most of it.
Yeah, you
like
would have
20
to
seconds. Yeah. Reaches for his backpack for a second.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
like, okay, this is where
Wait
it
a
ends
minute.
for me. Puts his hands down, yells for another 20 seconds, and walks out of the restaurant.
What Five Guys were you at?
The one downtown in Lincoln.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's different.
So,
Oh, no, I ain't never heard that one.
Again, I'm not the biggest dude,
No.
right? So I was freaked out.
Yeah.
We look afterwards. There's a cop car sitting in the alley across the way. My friends took bets for if it would take me longer to get choked out or the cop to get into the restaurant. They didn't give me long. They gave me about 20 seconds.
Wow. Sorry, bro.
No, it's fine. I made it. I pulled through. We're
You
good.
pulled through it, you're good.
Yeah.
That was a UFC mismatch.
I would say so, if ever there was one. So glad it didn't escalate any further than that. But
man.
yeah, never take free tickets is the the lesson I learned from that one.
Jeez. It's crazy.
That's still my.
These are my
favorite
streets too. Like born and raised in Lincoln,
Hey,
and I'm still getting threatened like that.
Hey, gotta keep your head on the swivel, bro.
Well, that was my problem. Is that my head was on the swivel. If I keep
gotta-
looking forward, I guess I get away with it.
You
But
gotta
So-
know what's going wrong.
So there was something that we were going to get into. We may go deep into it at another day, but it's. I would like a couple of players. You can give me your top 3, and we can talk about more. But we were going to dig into the topic of early retirements basically before their time, or retirements in their prime, where they still had a lot more to go. You can take it where you can stay in football, or you can go also in whatever sport that you like. But I there's a few that come to mind. Do you got 2 or 3 of them that come to mind that you just like, you know what, if they would have stayed around, they still have more to go. Dang on it, man. I wish he didn't leave that early.
Barry Sanders is one.
Absolutely. There's no question about that. It's got to be in the top 5.
Ooh.
Somebody
Megatron.
from I thought Megatron was one too.
That's another one.
And it's crazy they from the same freaking
From
team.
the same team.
What is it about Detroit that makes somebody wants to run out early?
Jay Foreman has been giving Detroit the business. On the old school show, but it's got to be something with Detroit that was got to be management or something. So but those 2 for sure.
What about somebody down in Carolina? Linebacker. Luke Kuechly.
Injuries though.
Was it an injury thing for him? Because he was a all pro, all the time, regularly top tackles. I mean, the cat was a beast.
A guy that plays the game like he played.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. Those injuries can take a toll on you. Those shots, especially at linebacker.
So would you say the same thing for Patrick Willis?
Yeah.
Same type of deal, because that linebacker core with Patrick Willis and oh gosh, they were a tandem. Bowman.
Yep.
Whew, they were dangerous.
I think the same thing with him. The way he played the game, it's only a matter of time.
So how did freaking Ray Lewis do it? Because he was a freaking maniac. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what kind of throws me off. Sometimes it's just
who in basketball. I've been trying to think about who in basketball that.
I mean, a lot of people say MJ because obviously it's the first. You have to throw him in the mix, right?
Brandon Roy had to because of injury.
Brandon Roy you
of
would say because of him for injuries.
But MJ, I think.
Yao Ming.
The game had taken a toll on MJ too.
Yeah. And the death of his father.
And the games, the wear and tear outside of basketball was
Yeah.
right on him. I think it was just time for him to do something different. And
I would have loved to see what Yao Ming could have been. The one that I would say. Also, I think Isaiah Thomas retired in his prime.
Well, no,
I mean, even though he played,
tore his
that was what
Achilles.
did shut him off. That
tore his
is right. It
Achilles.
was an injury. Bird was the same way.
Bird was the
Back.
same, back.
We talked about that earlier, being that the technologies of the day, the better shoes, the better rehabs, the better floors,
nutrition, floor. I mean, nutrition like football with the the field turf, and although there are a lot of injuries with that now.
Yeah.
Basketball, the courts.
Yeah.
And then the technology and the with the doctors and the
Yeah.
training and all that stuff.
Yeah, not as evasive and
No,
things that they
no.
are now.
Yeah, so-
But I'll tell you one that had a great long career, and you might have to ask why. You just look at his name. Could be something into that. Robert the Chief Parrish.
He was old too. The Chief was old too.
Chief looked like he was 80 years old out there, boy. I swear to goodness he did.
It like
He still was balling.
It like it hurt him to run up and down.
It did. It did, didn't it?
It looked like it hurt.
Oh man,
hurt him to run up and down the court.
The one I'm gonna throw this where we at time. Okay, we have a little more time. We can talk out whatever you guys want. But this is the one I think most of.
Andrew Luck.
Of course, him.
My
but
boy.
no, but it's not him.
Injuries with him too, though.
It was, and I think frustrations too, because that's why they're garbage right now, and you're mad about who they're going to try
It's
to
true.
get.
Yep.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is the one, Bo Jackson.
Hip.
No,
that injury for him to come back,
such a freak injury.
But you can see the
Yeah.
force that
Yeah.
when he did that, you saw it.
Yeah.
And this,
but he played more. He still played baseball
he
for
played,
8 years,
which was less wear and tear on his body.
Yeah.
He could be a DH.
Yeah.
Designated hitter. He can break bats. He can run across.
Run up the wall,
all that. But he was one that you would have loved to have seen finish his career without injuries, because he was free. He was a freak.
Yeah.
Freak of nature. Are we trending in Bo Jackson's direction with Zion Williamson?
I thought that when he was at Duke, he was too heavy. And again, a lot of guys can play with a lot of weight, but sooner or later, the wear and tear on your knees, your ankles, and the way he played, it's just a matter of time. So he has to lose weight, or he won't be there. He won't be in the league long.
Because it's one thing to be that size, but as high as he jumps, as much as he jumps, that's going to wear
his
down.
Explosiveness is second to none. So I think he has to lose weight in order for him to maintain that.
How do you find a guy's right weight? Like from the football perspective, how do you go?
Do you think Luka is the right weight?
He can probably wear it a little better because he's not as explosive.
Luka's got a dad bod.
Oh, does he ever?
He's got that beard that's sitting. That's what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, like he's been sitting on the back porch getting it in.
Just getting it in.
Yeah.
So he has to change his habits off the field
if he wants to. Have some longevity.
Longevity. So, because he can play now, Luka can give you work.
I think he has to get more in shape. I don't know how much weight he could lose.
Yeah.
Because part of his game is backing guys down in the post, Greasel style.
Yeah.
And you want to be a little, thicker for that to play that way.
But solid thick, not
tubby thick.
Not,
Okay. Well, then, as we're on that topic, who is the most dominant tubby in any sport that you've seen?
Kirby Puckett.
Like I'm
gotta be up there.
You gotta go Kirby Puckett. I like it.
Puckett's
I'm gonna say
Luka's
Barkley.
there.
I was gonna say Barkley. I was gonna say
because that boy would go up and get it.
The round mound of rebound. But Kirby Puckett had a serious.
What about Tony Gwynn? Tony Gwynn.
No, oh God, he's got a son now.
Fielder, Cecil Fielder.
Cecil Fielder.
Prince was
Big Poppy
too.
Big Poppy.
Big Poppy.
You throw Big Poppy in there?
Throw Big Poppy in there.
Big Poppy couldn't run down to first base after
Cecil Fielder and Kirby Puckett for what they did in baseball.
Yeah. Tony Gwynn,
he wasn't. I mean, they had guts.
Okay.
And Cecil Fielder had a gut.
John Kruk.
And
you throw John Kruk in there
because
Kruk will tell you he'd have 10 beers before he came out. Kruk will tell you.
I'm gonna tell you another one. Daly.
John Daly. That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
The golfer.
You know John Daly's son is in college with the Hooters sponsorship?
That doesn't surprise me. Does that surprise you?
No, not the slightest.
See, I'm going to surprise you with a football one.
Okay.
Christian Okoye.
No.
The Nigerian nightmare. Big. Now, he looked like he was.
I'm going to go another one. Refrigerator Perry.
Wow. And he was athletic, though. Don't get it twisted.
Him and his brother.
People
don't
his
remember
brother.
He had a brother.
No.
Yes, Google it.
That's
his
crazy.
brother.
Freezer Perry?
His brother played
his
for.
His brother's name was the freezer?
His brother.
It was a refrigerator in the freezer?
I don't know.
I think his brother played with the Browns.
Oh, wow. I did not know. I'm about to look that up.
Refrigerator Perry for him.
I like that.
He was out of
the
shape.
stream. If you guys know of anybody, throw it out on the stream. I don't think you guys can hear us on the Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. But on the stream, definitely shout us out. Who's your Pillsbury Doughboy?
I'm gonna tell you a story about the Refrigerator Perry. my rookie year with the Bears, you have to. I told Austin and Jay this yesterday. You have to run 16 110s. That's a 110-yard sprint, and you were timed
for your training and conditioning.
When
right.
you first report to fall camp,
you better be able to do it.
Yes.
Otherwise,
So we're running them, and you go
16, my
16,
boy?
bro.
And the DBs was different than the okay, yeah.
But they called him Doc, Refrigerator Perry. His nickname was the Doc. That man ran 2 of them, right? And then after his second one, he walked out. He yelled, "Hey, Dave, I'll be right back." Dave Weinstein was the head coach. He walked out of the practice facility, came back, and he went and sat on the bench and said, "Hey, Dave, here, well, you can put whatever you want." Now he used different words. He had a blank check, basically had a blank check, laid it on the bench, and told him he can put whatever fine he wanted to. He said, "I'm not running that. I'm a veteran." And he said, "Watch everybody." He said, "Watch everybody run them 110."
Yeah,
dude, his body was it was a mess.
It was a mess.
It was a complete.
He
mess.
might be the greatest Pillsbury Doughboy.
Greatest.
I got 3 others to throw into consideration.
Negative. I don't want it. No,
I do.
Albert Hainsworth.
I know where you're going.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Vince Wilfork.
I can see Vince.
And the one that I can't believe slipped my mind till now, Jared Lorenzen, hefty lefty
Oh,
from Kentucky.
Oh, yes.
Now he may be a number one.
Yes.
He may be.
Good call.
Just gotta give me a sec. Don't write me off after one.
Austin.
Give me a sec.
What about your boy now, Lofton?
Who?
Remember when he first came into the league? He's in the G League.
Oh, Kenneth Lofton Jr.
Lofton
Yeah.
Jr. Big body. He was working people out. I don't care what anybody says. I watched him in the summer league working people out.
So since we're going there, Jay brought him up yesterday. Big Country.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. How could I forget about Big Country Reed?
Tractor trailer.
Yes. Big baby.
Big baby.
Okay.
See?
Yeah, they out there. There's a lot of Pillsbury Doughboys out there that are doing it and getting it done.
And we're getting it done.
Getting
they
it
were
done.
putting in work.
Getting it done. There's probably more. I know you guys. If we were on the stream, if we're on the Sauter Heyman tape, I know y'all would be flooding the gates right now. What a wonderful week, man! It's been good to be back in studio. Be sitting in front of you guys, sitting next to Kenny. I know
Appreciate
Kenny
you,
didn't want me to come back. I know you.
Yeah, I did. I missed you, bro.
I know Kenny wanted me to get on the road.
No, I missed you. I missed you.
Look, I'm throwing it on Kenny about getting on the road.
Yeah, you trying to blame me for it when that's what you want to do.
No, I'm gonna be here this weekend, man. Happy Easter to everybody that does celebrate it. Let the kids go out there and get all the Easter eggs that they want to hunt for. We're gonna have a great one, man. It's gonna be a great weekend. This spring game is slowly approaching. It is creeping up on us. It'll be here before you know it. Hopefully, we'll get to see the good and the greatness of what is to be from Nebraska football, hopefully. And what you guys got going on real quick?
Awesome.
We're going to talk about getting to weight, what that looks like. And we've got people from Upside Bar coming in to talk UFC fight.
Well, that's it. We will see you on Monday, 2 to 4 on the block. Out. Peace.